Hello, my name is Michelle Parks, and I will be going over the social penetration theory and its 4 stages to self-disclosure. Social penetration is a process of developing deeper intimacy with another person through mutual self-disclosure and other forms of vulnerability. Vulnerability can be expressed in nonverbal ways and verbal ways. A nonverbal way is something as simple as smiling, and the verbal way is just that. It's just verbally disclosing your information that you want them to know. In the book, I first look at Communication Theory, the 8th edition by M. Griffin. He factored in environment with self-disclosure. Environment is very important with self-disclosure because in certain environments you're more prone to tell someone else your information. So for instance, if you're at a romantic setting with dim lighting and peaceful surroundings, you're more open to tell disclosure information compared to being in bright fluorescent lighting with a bunch of people in the background. You're going to be more quiet than you would be vocal when first meeting somebody. Also in the book, they have the metaphor of an onion because people's personalities are so multi-layered and the way it's structured that the onion was the best example they could come up with. And with the onion, it talks about how, the deeper you go into somebody's personality, the more they would disclose and the more you guys would become close. Now in the book, Social Penetration, the development of interpersonal relationships, they talk about the first 4 stages of self-disclosure in the book. And that's what I will elaborate on today for you guys. The first stage of this theory is called the orientation stage. In social penetration theory, the orientation stage is when 2 people begin to interact for the first time. So for example, when you first move into your new dorm or you enter into a new job, you begin to engage in small talk with those around you. You begin to say things such as an agreement, such as, yeah, me too. Or if you congratulate them, you say things such as, oh, that's good, congratulations. You're not understanding why you say these things, but it is a natural instinct. According to the social penetration theory, a person models this behavior of following the social norm of appropriate behavior because it gets them what they want at the end, whether it is a friendship or just to belong in an organization. In this stage of self-disclosure is also reciprocated. For instance, how you agreed with them when they say, yeah, me too. They will ask you a certain question like, so what did you accomplish in your life? That way the responses can be, same and you won't feel uncomfortable. In the book, it also talks about rewards and costs and how Altman and Dartmouth uses the social exchange theory in correlation with the social penetration. Psychologists John Thiebaud and Harold Kelly, the creators of the social exchange theory, suggested that when people meet for the very first time, that instead of interacting with them, they begin to think about how the person could benefit them based off of what they look like. So say for instance, you're new on campus and you're just looking for somebody to hang out with, eat with, and study with. The first thing you would think of is to join an organization if you don't know anybody. So when doing that, you gravitate towards people that have the same appearance as you, have similar backgrounds. This is when the popular saying, birds of a feather flock together, could be a great example. People tend to form relationships based off of what they know and what makes them comfortable, which eventually, the more you self-disclose, you'll realize that it changes. So by engaging in the small talk, this lets the person you're communicating with or the organization know that you have an appropriate behavior and you're not just expressing your opinions at the first time that they meet you. So the second stage of self-disclosure is called the exploratory affirmative stage. And in this stage is where the casual friendships form and you start to have more of a voice. Now with this stage, you start to reveal yourself a little bit more and you express opinions on topics such as politics, entertainment, sports, education, anything you would like, but you don't really say it in full detail. So you get a sense of the other person's personality as well. This will be the second layer of the onion. You show aspects of your personality that were once hidden and with less caution in a sense. So you share more, but at the same time, you're still a little guarded because you don't give the details. You don't give the why. You just give the who. So The exploratory affective exchange gives a person the opportunity to connect and learn more about each other on a personal level. Michael Roloff, in a book he wrote, said relationships at this stage are generally more friendly and relaxed, and movement toward intermediate areas of intimacy is begun. So during this exchange, a sense of trust, caring, and the actual willingness to communicate begin to form, but not the full thing. You start to share information such as, your friends, your family. A person would also share their overall goals and aspirations and not the specifics, just in case one might not agree with what you want to do in life or what you have planned for yourself. Most people don't make it past stage 2 because, most people are just comfortable with, having casual friendships, and they don't really desire best friends. So the third stage is called the affirmative stage. It's the stage where the intimacy and the trust are evident during the relationship. So this is for your couples, your best friends, or your depth within the organization. Now, this would be, in relation to the onion, this would be the third and fourth layer. The affective stage is synonymous to the exploratory affective stage, but the affective stage comes with more detail. In this stage is where you say their personal and private lives, when this become more detailed. So even though you discussed your friends and family, you discuss why they are important to you or what have they done to be important in your life, because this is where you begin to feel comfortable sharing secrets. This is where, like I mentioned earlier, the couples start to form and the arguments start to become common, where in the beginning they were very rare. This is where also opinions come along and the criticism starts to emerge with self-disclosure, because when you're close to somebody, you will get criticized on certain stuff that you may do, and their opinions will start to be more vocalized. If you are a couple, this is where the kissing and touching begins to happen, because you're comfortable enough to engage in that intimacy with somebody. So, for example, when you're with your newfound friend, or you're deep into an organization, after you already form the bond with everyone, this is when you share your true feelings and you do the highs and the lows in detail, and the true aspirations and goals that you have set for your life, because you know that you're comfortable enough to be judged by them because you've already been so accepted into the organization. So it won't feel as weird as if they judged you in the orientation stage because they didn't even know you to judge you. Now, the fourth and final stage of self-disclosure in relationships is called the stable exchange stage. So basically, it's self-explanatory. At this point in the relationship, you're stable with the openness that you express with each other, how comfortable you guys have become. This would be, in relation to the onion, the center of the onion, like the core of the onion. You begin to become close. This is when you two become inseparable. With this, the relationship continues to grow with the ability to always be open due to how comfortable you guys are. This is when the communication can be something as simple as nonverbal cues. It could be something as simple as your best friend is just off that day and you realize it, and you're just, what's wrong with you? What's going on? So at this point in the relationship, there should be no secrets, because you are so comfortable, and the permanent guard that you had up in the orientation stage, it should no longer be up. It should be completely down. You should be able to express yourself and feel comfortable with that. The communication in this relationship has become effective and efficient. You guys don't have any bumps in the road. You're able to effectively communicate and understand one another. So with these 4 stages, it helps knowing where you are in relation to your relationship, or if you're trying to be a part of an organization. With these stages, it could be like, okay, well, do I want to go to the affirmative stage, or do I just want to stay in the exploratory stage, or do you want to go all the way to the end? Or some people just don't like to go past even the orientation stage. You just want to keep it as small talk when you see people, and that is totally understandable. And that's why with this theory, I believe it makes people who are socially awkward okay. Like, it's okay and normal to be socially awkward because you're not comfortable with opening up to everybody that you interact with. And I hope this video gave you a better explanation of the social penetration theory and the 4 stages. Thank you.